Amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another Death Note reaction video. I am in a weird emotional place with this show now. I don't know how to feel. If L is really gone, I feel so sad about that. Like I feel like I've gone in so many circles with this show. From like just loving Misa the whole time. Ryuk's never changed. That's still my guy, Ryuk. Big up Ryuk. And then Light, I just like go on a seesaw about. Like I think I've come to the conclusion that Light without the Death Note is a very likable person. Light with the Death Note, scumbag, douchebag. So it's like, it's so hard. Oh man. If you watch my last reaction, you'll know it just hit me like a bus. But anyway, I'm curious to see where this goes now. I'm curious to see if L had a plan in place or some contingencies. I can't believe that he didn't. I can't. So I guess we're going to find out. Enough of my talking. Make sure you guys subscribe if you want more reactions like this. We're very close to 300k, so make sure you guys subscribe if you're not. And let's jump into my first time ever reaction to Death Note, episode 26.
さあ、私を殺してみろ。この地
Is this going to be a backlog to the plan? Also, I wish they wouldn't play this music so close to the beginning because it does mean that the audio is going to be muted. Which, by the way, YouTube mutes the audio. I don't, so I can't help it. Isn't when you upload it to YouTube, it gives you like a list of things that need to be muted, and it just mutes them for you. So if anyone's wondering how it works, that's how it works.
中継は全世界同時中継と銘打ったが、実は日本の関東地区にしか放送されていない。 この一連の事件の最初の犠牲者は新宿の通り。
Yeah, we remember this. I forgot about that, man. That
この事件
feels
は
like
日本でしか
so
報道
long
され
ago.
ていなかった。これだけで十分推理できた。お前が日本にいること、そしてこの犠牲者第一号はお前の殺しのモルモットだったということが。キラは捜査本部の情報を得る手。
If this is like an entire backstory leading into L's plan in the entire situation, this is a really cool way to start the episode. I am really curious because I just can't see L just dying like that, right? It just seems very strange for L just to be like, and goodbye with no plan in place. It just feels odd, right? I mean, you guys obviously know what happens. Is there anyone watching this for the first time with me? But yeah, you guys obviously know what happens. I don't, but I can't see L not having a plan, man. L is Light's counterpart. There must have been a plan.
そしてこの犠牲者第一号はお前の殺しのモルモットだったということが。キラは捜査本部の情報を得る手段を持っている。警察の中だけでもキラの捜査情報を得られた者は141人。しかしこの141人の中、あるいはその身近なところに必ずキラはいる。 12月14日、FBI 捜査官12人が日本に。
You know what I find so funny? Every time I say, like, I don't know how L could draw a conclusion to this, blah, 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 I do defend it, but sometimes I say that. You guys literally get your pitchforks out. But this is the show telling me how it can all be done logically. This episode, which all of you would have seen before you got your pitchforks out, and I haven't seen. So this is going to lay things out very clearly for me. I feel like this is going to help.
12月19日、キラは明らかに 刑務所の犯罪者で死の前の行動を操るテストをしています。つまりキラは FBI を消すのに罪の軽いものでも操る必要があった。だからキラはこの14日から19日に FBI が調べていたもの。
And a lot of you are like, how can you think she's well, because it's a TV show with twists. That's how. It wouldn't be completely crazy if she just popped back, right? So I did think maybe she could still be alive. I stopped believing that a while ago. I'm like, it didn't make sense and it wouldn't be fitting to the show anymore. So I was like, nah, I don't think she's still alive. If she does come back now, I'm gonna be very annoyed with all of you for flipping out when I thought that. But yeah, I don't think so. I thought maybe she'd somehow double bluffed.
皆さん、これよりレイペンバーが日本で調べていたものだけに限って捜査します。 捜査対象は北村次長とその家族、八神局長とその家族です。そしてその2つの家に盗聴器と監視カメラをつけさせていただきたい。
まさか龍崎、うちの息子を疑っているのか？
疑ってますよ。 私はエルです。
Such a brilliant episode, isn't it? So good.
安心しろヤガミ。キラは負けず嫌いだが、キラでなくとも試合に勝ちたいと思うのが大多数だ。ほら勝ちに来た。私はヤガミ君をキラじゃないかと疑っているんです。
僕がキラ。龍が何か僕がキラじゃないと信用してもらえる方法はないか？
大丈夫ですよ。キラでないのならそのうちわかることです。
4日前、
視聴率 60%。いや、70%はいくぞ、こりゃ。
本物のキラであると証明する予告殺人。そして世界の人々に向けてのメッセージが入っているとのことです。
私はキラです。メインキャスターの日比間和彦氏が6時ちょうどに心臓麻痺で死にます。
この放送やめさせないとまずいことになる。
This recap is really just taking you down like memory lane and making you realize just how insane all of this was and how many thoughts and different processes and everything like went into this. How much planning went into everything that they did from L to Light. I can't believe we're on episode 26. Like, fuck me, man. This is blinked by. Is it blinked by for you guys? Like, jeez.
これを見ている限り、顔だけでも殺せる可能性もゼロではないとしか。
警察だ！番組を中止しろ！
このキラはキラの偽物の可能性が高い。いや、第二のキラと言うべきでしょう。八神さん、息子さんに捜査協力を願ってもよろしいでしょうか。
少なくともこいつは今までのキラじゃない可能性が高い。
いや龍崎の推理と全く同じ。
会った時はお互いの死神を見せ合えば確認できます。
なんだ。
もし死神という力を持った者同士にしかわからない暗号が隠されていたら私には解読できません。だがこの日記に記されている場所は徹底的にマークしておくべきです。当日はライト君のことも注意深く観察してください。万一ライト君がキラだった場合、第二のキラが何らかの形で接触してくるかもしれません。それと八神さん。
It's funny, that was still like a very smart move from Misa. Like if you actually think about it, it was one of Misa's like damn, Misa. It was one of those moves. Misa is not as stupid as she gives like they make her out to be. She's had like tons of pretty intelligent moments. She slips up every now and then, but she's much more cautious than the average person.
茂木さんにライト君の行動を監視してもらってください。
ライトの彼女の天音美沙、よろしくね。
龍河秀樹です。
龍河秀樹。
八神君にとっては嬉しかったり悲しかったりだと思いますが、
L's face.
天音美沙を第二のキラ容疑で確保しました。天音の部屋から第二のキラがビデオテープを送ったとき、封をしていたガムテープに付着していた毛や洋服の繊維など多数の証拠が出ました。
龍崎、これは一体。
早く殺して。あなたなら私をすぐ殺せるでしょ。
それは自分が第二のキラであると認めるということか。
違う、第二のキラなんて知らない。
龍崎、電話でも言ったが僕がキラかもしれない。
ここで僕がキラかもしれない。演技だ。お前はキラかもではなくキラだ。ライト君、大丈夫ですか？
ああ、自分でも格好のいい状態とはとても思えないが、そんなくだらないプライドは捨てる。龍崎、確かに僕は監禁されることを承諾し、こうすることを選んだ。しかし今はっきりと気づいた。僕はキラじゃない。早くここから出してくれ。
どうなってるんですか？昨日一日で2週間以上裁かれていなかった犯罪者が一気に。
何が何だかわからない。
もう3人とも限界って感じですね。
龍崎、なぜライト君を監禁し続ける？もう50日ですよ。 ここでお
You know what's interesting is I feel like when you lay all of this out as well as they are doing right now, it makes it almost completely, it narrows it almost completely down to Light and Misa. It really does, like, I feel like when you watch the show sporadically, it's hard to predict who's who. But if you think about everything from the start to who the suspicions were to who the suspects were, it narrows it completely down to Light. So, and then even L said, he was sure Light was in fact Kira, but lost the ability to use Kira's powers and lost his memory because of it. Which makes sense, because when you watch all of this, you come to the logical conclusion that there's no way Light could not have been Kira yourself. When all the evidence is laid out in front of you, it does point straight to Light, straight to Misa, right? Like this. And then the fact that it seemed obvious that they no longer had those abilities just threw L out of a whack, because he was like, well, what now? Like, they clearly don't have the power, then don't have the abilities, whatever, like, what's going on? And then that was where the theory that it can be moved from person to person came from. But that would then mean that the only reason L would have to get suspicious is if L, for any reason, presumed that somehow Light had received the power once again. That is it. Because if L was convinced Light had it once, but doesn't have it now, it would have to be a snap where L believed that Light had it again. Or Misa.
何を言ってるんだ父さん。そんなバカな。まだ逃げた方がいい。
遅いライト。
やめろ父さん。僕はキラじゃない。
ライト。殺人犯同士地獄であろう。
迫真の演技でした。約束通り2人の監禁は終わりにします。そしてライト君の方も約束通り私と24時間行動を開始し捜査協力をしてもらうということで手を打ちます。四つ葉にとって都合のいい死。調べるとそれはこの3ヶ月で13件にも上っている。四つ葉の中にキラがいるのか、キラが四つ葉を利用しているのか、それはまだ分かりませんが、もうキラの仕業だと考えて捜査しましょう。四つ葉を徹底的に調べます。くれぐれも焦った行動や先走った行動など一人の判断で動かないように。
松井太郎と申します。天音美沙を CM にいかがでしょうか。龍崎見てますか。今来た8人キラを使って殺しをする会議をしてました。
これで松田
I'm
さ
just
んが
saying, Matsuda is quite the acrobat, because I could not fucking do that. There's zero chance I'm balancing on the side of a building. Matsuda is quite the acrobat.
死んだら四つ葉の疑惑は確定的になりますが、
助かる方法はないでしょうか。
松田のバカ。
ミサイルさんファイター CM 決定祝賀会の用意をしてお待ちしております。
ミサ、キラのお嫁さんになるのが夢なの。だってミサは第二のキラだから。
じゃあ俺がキラだから結婚してくれよミサちゃん。
というわけで樋口がキラです。
どうするの。桜テレビを使って樋口を引っ掛けます。
ドッキリテレビだ。
樋口、まずい。テレビを見ろ。
I wonder if we'll ever see those people again. You know, the people that were working with them, that are part of the organization. I wonder if they're just gone now, like they did their bit and we won't see them again. Because I completely forgot about them until we just saw them then. Like, I had already forgotten that they existed. I was like, oh yeah, that guy. I forgot about that guy who helped them. Gone. Straight from my memory.
キラなんですね。はい。証拠もたくさんあるんです。
あいつだ。なぜ生きている。
樋口確認、追います。
追います。
レム、取引だ。
取引？
スピード違反だ。免許証。
ああ、分かったよ。
樋口が白バイを振り切ってどうぞ。
こちらは交通機動隊。
皆さん、樋口をこれ以上動かすのは危険だと考え、各
確保に移ります。しかし樋口は第二のキラ同様、顔だけで殺せるキラになった。その考えの下での確保です。
そこまでだ。誰も来るな。
樋口、どうやって殺人をしてきた？
信じられないだろうが、顔を知っている人間の名前を書くと、書かれた人間が死ぬノートだ。
樋口のバッグの中にあった。
どうしました、八神さ
ん。化け物！
死神。ノートは2冊以上存在している。まだ終わってない。
How to use。このノートに名前を書かれた人間は死ぬ。そしてこの最後の一文。このノートに名前を書き込んだ人間は、最も新しく名前を書いた時から13日以内に
次の名前を書き込まないと死ぬ。八神ライトと天音美沙は生きている。13日。これだけが。
So we finally come full circle to, I'm guessing, some sort of revelation, right? Everything's been laid out in front of us, and I can honestly say, after everything that's laid out so perfectly the way it has been, it's so easy to conclude that L has just been right from day one. That everything L is for that. Like, the thing is, right? When everything is laid out like this, the evidence is there and the suspects are there, right? But when you watch it sporadically back to back, it's hard to have that, especially keep it all logged in your memory, which just goes to show L stores everything up here like a timeline. L really is just like some crazy fucking mastermind. So who is really the one playing chess and who's playing checkers? Who's really in charge? Whose plan are we following? Is it Lights or is it L's? Who is really the puppet master? That is the real question we don't have an answer to yet.
この記録は私がキラ事件に関して調べてきたものの全てである。これが人の目に触れているということは、すでに私はこの世にはいないであろう。私が残した確固たる成果とし、ここに記す。
I guess that answers the question. Wait, did Light just delete it or did Light read it? Because it looked like it all just got deleted. Like, it's hard to tell there. I don't know if I'm supposed to know, but it looked like Light just deleted it all. Or maybe it was only a one time in a red message. And Light just read it and then it deleted itself. We know how precautious L is, so that could be the case too. It's interesting, we don't get any rules anymore. This episode and last episode, you just have the Death Note symbol, but there's no, like, random rules. Which I noticed you get that quite a lot in anime. You get it in Attack on Titan, you get it in this.
龍崎が密葬されて10日、僕たちは死なずに済むみたいですね。
渡りはなんとか身元が分かったが、龍崎の方は結局何も。
しかし渡りって実はすごい発明家だったんですね。
いくつもの特許による資産をもとに世界中に養護施設を創設か。
もう偉人ですよ、偉人。
しかしエルも渡りもいなくなった今、ここで捜査を続けるわけにもいかない。厳しいですね。
うん。ライトどうだ？
今夜中にはここのシステムをほとんど持ち出せるところまで行く。泥棒してるようでいい気はしないけどね。龍崎が使っていたのと同じ声も作れたし、生きているように見せ、今まで通り世界の警察を動かしてはいけるけど、誰が L の代わりをするか、どこでするか、殺人ノートをどうするか。
何言ってるんだよライト君。 L の役はライト君しかいないだろ。龍崎がキラを挑発したことで殺されたのだとしたら、あまり気が進まないな。それに
世界中の人を騙すことになる。
ライト君の気持ちもわかるけど、ライト君しかいないんだ。
そうだよ、龍崎も言ってたじゃないか。ライト君なら L を告げるって。
このくらいの方が慎重でいいだろう。
So, this leaves two paths. Path number one. L didn't have a plan, which I find it hard to believe because there was a whole conversation that L had with Watari before this all finished. So it is possible that when L went into that room, Watari asked him what was wrong. There's a whole conversation where a plan or a contingency was put in place that we don't know about yet. So, road number one, there was a plan put in place. L planned for this. Maybe L somehow used doppelganger. I don't know. But that can't really be right at the same time because Rem saw the original L. So surely Rem knows the original L's name, even if that was a different L. Even if L somehow is a twin. Right? See what I mean? So surely Rem knows which one's which. So that is option number one, is L somehow had some kind of plan in place for this. And knew that the only way to catch Light was for L to die. Option number two was that because L also said in the rain that like L seemed pretty convinced that it was Light, so it just seems strange that L would just go down like that. Option number two is that this is it. L didn't have a plan. L is dead. L's plan was what he voiced before he died about killing someone 13 days, etc. That was their plan that they came up with, and in doing that. The Light's just in charge now, which would mean that the only person who can really challenge Light in the future is his dad. That would be where I would go with this, that Light's dad is going to become the new challenger of Light, which would be interesting. The other option would be that somehow, because Elle was watching the camera of Misa and Light's conversation in the lobby, and they weren't really hiding it as well, so if Elle could somehow hear that conversation, that would cement his belief in both of them, and that could also create a new plan.
龍崎が挑戦的すぎたのかもしれん。
それなら、このパソコンと自分のパソコンだけでほぼ同じ働きができるし、家の僕の部屋で L になることも可能だ。渡りも僕がやるよ。しかし、母や妹がいたのではやりにくいな。ワンルームでも部屋を借りられるといいんだけどね。
息子の一人暮らしに私が仕送りするぐらい何の不自然もあるまい。
そうですね。じゃあこれからはライト君の借りる部屋が捜査本部ってことで。
あとは殺人ノートをどうするかか。
それも深く考える必要はないな。人が手にしないところに、この5人の中で絶対ノートを使わないと信用できるものが隠せばいいだけだ。
局長、お願いします。
局長なら絶対だ。正義の塊ですからね。
Matt did raising his hand.
私か。わかった。
龍崎の仇を取りましょう。
ああ。まだキラはいるんだ。必ず捕まえよ
う。じゃあライト君の2代目 L 就任パーティーでもやりますか。
お前もいい加減空気を読めよな。まあ場を和ませよう。
ライト、久々のデートなんだからもっと楽しそうにしてよ。
ミサ、一緒に暮らそう。
本
当？ああ、部屋ももう借りた。
ミサ wins！
勝ち？
清美とかマリとかユリとかに大丈夫だよライト。L を欺くのに利用しただけだもんね。分かってる。もう会ったりもしないよね。
あ
あ。なあ、これで本当に L との決着はついたのか？
ああ。
じゃあもうあんまり面白いものは期待できないな。
そんなことないよ、リュウク。
I'm glad to have Ryuk back.
新世界の創生を見せてやるよ。
おお I'm gonna say it right now. My boy Ryuk! My boy Ryuk is back! A regular character! I see the flipping gremlin sitting there! Just like L used to do! Maybe Ryuk is L. You know? Sometimes, doesn't it? That scene is just unnecessarily horrible. Like, why, man? So weird. This show is so unique in its premise because I'm not rooting for Light at all. I imagine some people watching this are. Some people are like, yeah, my boy Light. No, I mean, I guess it's like the Eren situation, Attack on Titan. You got people rooting for Eren, people rooting against Eren, and it's the same. I think a good anime does that, doesn't you? It splits an audience on whether or not you're supporting for the main character or rooting against the main character. And me, at this moment in time, episode 26, I'm rooting against Light. I don't want Light to win. I'll tell you, I'm going back to my original plan. I want Ryuk to marry Misa. And they have some weird Shinigami and Misa relationship and they just fly off into the fucking sunset. There you go. I'm happy with that ending. Ah, well this answers my question about this.
四つ葉の再建はこれからだ。
頑張ろう。おい、波川。まさか。
2012年4月、八神ライト23歳、警察庁に入庁。2012年夏、キラの裁きはさらに勢いを増し始める。世界はキラに対する恐怖の悲鳴、裏では声援とに二分され、徐々に裏の声が出始める。そしてついに、公にキラを認めると表明する国すら現れ、キラが法となる暗黒の時代へ世界は向かいつつあった。
Alright, this is where L grew up, right?
Nandai, Roger?
Lが死んだ。
Who the fuck are they? Who the fuck are they? Ah, man. I'm Team L. I think I'm Team L, you know. Ah, man. L's dead. So L is dead. L is 100% dead. Now, I think we can confirm that that is the case based on the ending of that episode. If L wasn't dead, or at least L is seeming to be dead. But I would say L is dead. My guess is the conversation that L had with Watari when they went in that office was L literally said, I'm fairly confident it's Light. I have no way of proving it, but I know it's him. The only way we can stop Light is if we die. And then L came up with some plan to stop Light. That is all I can think of. Perhaps that recording that we heard at the beginning has been sent to those people. It's not unrealistic to think there may be some more people involved in L and Watari's organization with the orphanages and their past, and maybe they even have friends. Like, who knows? So maybe there's some people that can step in and fill those shoes with all this information and can do some investigation from the outside. We now are entering a different realm with this show where Light is working for the police force, the world is accepting Kira, and Light is winning. Now, if Light is L and is still trying to find Kira but cannot, it seems counterproductive or unusual that Light would never find Kira. And now Misa and Light are living together, which again makes sense. Was Misa's life extended? Jeez, the show is completely shifted gears. We've got, what, 10 more episodes left? I don't know where this goes now. I didn't expect L to die with 11, 12 episodes left of the show. I assumed that this would be a finale showdown between L and Light. Maybe it still will be somehow, but it also won't be. How bizarre. I don't even know what to say, guys. Damn. This show is brilliant in how well it just makes you switch up. I mean, I'm a perfect example. How many times have I rooted for a different character throughout this entire show? The show constantly changes my emotions and feelings towards every character in it. And it's brilliant that it does that. I've never watched a show where I just switch up on so many different characters and different theories and different ideas so much. Every episode I'm thinking something completely different. And it's really fun that a show can make your mind do that. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying these reactions. I think we've got 3 weeks left and we'll be done with Death Note. And then after that, we'll be starting Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood like I promised. As long as the copyright is fine around it, there should be no issues for that. Anyway, I love all of you wonderful people. Please consider pressing that subscribe button if you haven't done already to get us a little bit closer to 300,000. And as always, my friends, you will see me in the next video.